Yo, what is up? Welcome back to the Burnell Washburn podcast. 15-minute Friday. Let's get into it. I'm feeling hyped. I've had an amazing day. Today's been like a record-setting day in my online business, so I'm super stoked on that. And I'm super stoked that you're joining me today. So thank you for listening. Huge thank you to everyone who's been leaving reviews and sharing the podcast. Last week, or actually earlier this week, we had a record-breaking episode. We had so many people sharing it on Facebook and Instagram. Got a bunch of new reviews, and we got way more downloads and listens than we've ever got. So I'm so hyped on the growth, and I can't thank you guys enough. This is really growing into a beautiful tribe, a beautiful community of people that are hungry for the best versions of themselves, that just want to live happy, fulfilled, amazing lifestyles, and we're all helping each other out and spreading the good vibes. So thank you for helping me spread this message. And speaking of helping me spread this message, I actually just launched a Patreon page for my first time ever, which is crazy because people have been telling me to launch a Patreon for years. I even had this girl in Australia say she would I would gladly throw you $50 a month if you had a Patreon, and I still never set it up, which I have no idea why, because I've been manifesting abundance and prosperity and then blocking myself off, and it's probably ego and self-worth issues and just limiting beliefs and things like that have held me back from ever doing it, even though it's like the universe is trying to support me and trying to help me out. So it got me thinking well, how am I just blocking myself, and how am I in the universe's way? Because I'm starting to realize everything is so much bigger than me, and I'm co-creating this reality with divine creators, with divine spirits, with God, with whatever you want to call it. And I'm sitting here thinking I have to do it all on my own and carry all the weight of the world on my shoulders and not let anyone help me out. So I finally decided to jump on out of my own way and launch a Patreon. If you want to check it out, it's patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. I'll throw a little link in this. I'm definitely not expecting anything from it. I'm just super, super, super grateful and just way appreciative of anyone that wants to throw anything towards the cause. I've been funding the dream out of pocket for years, providing value with this podcast and my YouTube channel and all my social media. So there's a lot of expenses involved, such as website hosting and podcast hosting and all the different tools and technologies that I use in order to spread my good message. And I'm going to keep continuing to spread the empowering, uplifting, positive vibes regardless, because that's just what lights my soul up. But it is also awesome if I get more money. I can obviously do it at a higher level and empower and uplift even more people. So might as well open up that channel to let the abundance flow through. So patreon.com/Burnell Washburn. Again, not expecting anything, but super grateful. I just barely launched it a couple hours ago, and we already got our first 3 patrons. So shout out to Malev the Shinobi. Shout out to my homie Zach Green, the triple OG. And shout out to the icon, Brock Willie. He actually is the #1 sales dude at an amazing startup. I guess it's not a startup anymore, but an amazing tech company right now. And it's just cool. Everyone that just donated to me is a badass person themselves. So it's just cool to see empowered people empowering others and sharing the good vibes, and they're thanking me for the value that they're getting in their life through my content. And that's me living the dream. That's a direct manifestation of something that I wanted to do. I wanted to spread my love and help people and uplift people and just enrich people's lives as best I could, and using my word is one of the ways I wanted to do that. And I figured, hey, I also want to get paid for doing that so I can do it full time and spread as much love and help as many people as possible. So super grateful Patreon exists, super grateful for the supporters, and super grateful that another vision has been fulfilled. You know what I mean? It's been manifested. This is an actual thing that I wrote down in my magic manifestation journal, and now it's my reality. So feeling blessed, super grateful that you're joining me today, and I know you're going to get a ton of value from this quick 15-minute Friday episode. Today I really wanted to jump in and talk about the importance and the value of meditation. Meditation absolutely changed my life. If you follow me on social media or YouTube, you know that I've been talking about this for the last couple of years because it's just made a profound. It is the biggest upgrade I've made in my life. It's up there with plant medicine. It's up there with nutrition and working out. It's definitely in the top, it's probably the top, if not in the top 3 most major upgrades I've ever made in my entire life. I could literally look at my life as like Burnell before meditation and Burnell after he started practicing meditation. Like 2 different people, massive difference in my creativity, my productivity, my health, my mental health, my physical appearance, my ability to handle hard, stressful situations. So many things have changed since I started meditating. So this is something that I can't recommend enough, and I'll probably keep talking about more and more as the years go on, as I gather more insight about it, as I bring on more experts on the topic, and as it just becomes a more and more prominent part of my life, because this is something that I do every day, and it's something that any one of us can do to dramatically improve all areas of our life. So I wanted to break down a little bit of my meditation practice and how I kind of got started into meditation, and just some simple steps that you can take to begin practicing, because it seems so overwhelming and daunting for a lot of people, or a lot of people have limiting beliefs about it, or they've tried it a few times and their mind was racing and they're so busy and they just couldn't seem to meditate, and it made them more frustrated than they were before they even tried, and so they gave up on themselves and figured meditation's not for me, or they say things like, I would meditate but my mind's just too busy, or I wish I had the time to meditate, which again is a choice. And like Russell Simmons says, if you don't have 30 minutes to meditate, then you need 3 hours. But really, you don't even need 30 minutes. You can start with 3 minutes a day. That's how I started. I got the app called Headspace, and I started 3 minutes a day. And I would feel so good about myself just going out, taking that time. Even if my mind was racing the whole time and I didn't really meditate, I'd give myself like a little checkbox on my success log that day saying like, hey, you meditated, you took some time out for your mental health, you attempted something new, and over time I got better at it. But it felt good for even trying, and then I ramped it up to 5 minutes and 10 minutes and 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and now I often do an hour. It just depends on whether I have my daughter or not. A lot of times I'm just doing like a quick 15 to 20 minutes in the bathtub or out in the sunshine. I really recommend meditating in nature if you can. Being out in nature it's so much easier to meditate in our natural state. There's these less distractions. Our body is able to come into like a homeostasis more, because if you think about it, like these smartphones, these laptops, this technology, Wi-Fi, electricity, all this stuff is brand new. Like, it's been around for a millisecond in terms of evolution. So our body's just not used to all these stimuli. Our body is a lot more at ease when it's out in nature, hearing the sound of streams, sound of birds, sunshine, leaves falling, whatever, the ocean waves crashing. These are things that are going to help you tap into a meditative state so much quicker and so much easier. And it's like a muscle, so I just wanted to remind you guys of how important it is and how it takes time. It's not just something that you are good at or not good at, or that you just like are immediate pro at. It's like you have to build up this muscle over time. And the more you meditate, the easier it becomes. And some days you have to apply more effort. Some days you apply less effort. But what we're doing is we're getting out of fight or flight. We're turning off the stress hormones. We're turning off the need to be defensive. We're turning off the ego. We're turning off all these anxiety thoughts about the future and these depressed thoughts about the past, and we're just becoming present in the moment and connecting with our breath sometimes. There's a lot of different ways to meditate, so obviously 15-minute Fridays like nowhere near long enough to go into like deep practices and all the different kind of practices, but this is more of an episode to just remind you meditation is worth it, and it's something that you really need to begin studying, practicing, and including in your life as much as possible. It might seem overwhelming, it might seem like a lot, but just start small and build up over time. Start watching videos on the benefits of meditation so you have a stronger belief about why meditation is going to be good for you, and then it'll make you want to take the action even more. Google search right now, health benefits of meditation, or how meditation affects the brain. I was going to Google some of those things and share them with you on this podcast, but you can just look them up just as easily as I can. So I figured I'd provide you my more like authentic experience with it, because I'm not really one that needs like science-backed stuff to make me believe in something or enjoy it, but some people are, and if that's you, then look up those stuff and it'll enhance your belief system on it that much more. For me, I just heard every successful person that I admired and want to look up and then wanted to be like, literally like everyone I looked up to was talking about the importance of meditation. And I sat there listening to them for years without actually practicing it myself, thinking, yeah, that sounds nice, or like I'd agree with them, and then somehow I just wouldn't really act on it. Like I'd feel like, oh, I'll do it later, or I don't know. I always wanted to do stuff. Like I always felt like I needed to be doing something and being productive in order to feel good about myself. Like I'm always talking, clicking, scrolling, swiping, typing, all these things of doing and doing and doing and doing, having this kind of egoic illusion sense of control, thinking like I need to be in control at all times and need to be doing something in order to be moving forward. But as I've matured, I've realized there's a lot more value in just being, and I can be 1,000 times more productive. I work less hours now than I've ever worked in my life, and I make more money than I've ever made in my life. I'm literally making more money per month than I've ever made at any job, and I'm doing what I love, and I'm not even like breaking my back. Like, yeah, I might put in a lot of hours and grind, but it's because I love it, and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like fun and pleasure and joy and bliss. And then, of course, there's some things that are not like the most ideal fun, just little tedious like back-end tasks and things that I have to do, but even I've found ways to find a lot of joy and pleasure in that. So meditation is what opened up my eyes to realize the possibilities of that, of realizing, hey, I can be more productive by meditating for half an hour than any amount of work I could do in a half hour. Because that half hour is going to reset me. It's going to take me out of the fight or flight and the reactive mode of like reacting to life around me, and it's going to put me back into spirit, back into my heart, back into my divine, badass, higher self that knows what the fuck is up and is massively inspired and massively connected and massively intuitive and creative beyond belief. I can tap into that version of myself, have breakthrough ideas, come out of the meditation, and act on them with a smile on my face and a lot of ease, and get way better results than I can when I'm just busting ass all day and like stressed out and putting in mad hours and grinding and grinding and grinding. Like, there's obviously a time for grinding and putting in work, but like you're gonna be so much more lucrative when you take aligned and inspired action versus just taking action to take action, or taking action because you want to be hustling, or you're reactive because you have bills coming up and you need to make some money right now, so I better put in all these hours and I don't have time to meditate because I got to pay these bills and I better work. You'll probably pay the bills a hell of a lot easier if you take some time to meditate and get some clarity. Like, especially if you're selling something, people aren't going to really buy it from you when you're in a state of stress and scarcity and fear. They're going to buy from you when you're joyous and aligned and abundant and connected, and meditation will do that for you. So I recommend downloading the app called Headspace, going on YouTube and searching guided meditations, downloading any meditation app you see and just trying all of them and seeing which one resonates with you. I meditate all sorts of different ways. I have like 50 to 60 different guided meditations that I do on YouTube. I highly recommend having YouTube Red or YouTube Premium for that so you don't get bombarded with advertisements and so you can actually press the lock screen on your phone without your video stopping. And so you can save them on your phone and you can listen to them on the airplane or on the beach or whenever you don't have Wi-Fi. But you can meditate in the car. I meditate in the backseat of Ubers. I meditate laying in the sun in my driveway. I do walking meditation sometimes. I'm sitting in a sauna or sitting in a thermal pool of some sort or laying on the beach, like anywhere. I meditate a lot in the bathtub in the wintertime because it's cold outside and I just want to light up a candle, throw some crystals around the bath, toss in some bath salts. No, I'm not snorting them or smoking them or whatever the fuck those people do. Some essential oils and just vibe out and meditate. Throw on a guided meditation for 20 minutes or throw on just like some background flute music or some isochronic tones and just take a little sound bath and meditate and just, breathe in. One of my favorite meditation techniques is used from like everyone from, high-level CEOs and entrepreneurs to badass creative people like Logic and J. Cole to Navy SEALs and like, gnarly people in war. Like, it's called the box breathing technique. And you inhale for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, inhale. And it's just, you just go in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, all synchronized. And then there's another way where you kind of go like in for 4 and then you hold for 5 and then the next time you go in for 5 and you hold for 6 and you kind of keep slowing down your breaths. And we don't have time to get into all of these things, but there's so many different types of breath work and different mindfulness practices that you can throw in the mix. So there's like literally infinite ways to meditate, and I recommend just trying a bunch of them, seeing what works for you. And if you're like me, different methods will work for you on different times of your life, on different days. So I just can't express the importance of meditation enough. Literally, all the most successful people in the world are doing it. Companies are starting to bring in meditation teachers because their revenue is just massively exploding when they have these employees that are practicing meditation and mindfulness because they're not so stressed out. They're getting out of the fight or flight and they're getting into that calm, creative, productive state. Bottom line, meditation has been proven on scientific, real levels to help people make more money, improve their health, have better sex, get more done in less time, get better relationships, get rid of addictions, get rid of anxiety, dramatically reduce cortisol levels and stress hormones and you name it. Like I said, look up some stuff on your own if you need some more convincing, but meditation is the truth. It saved my life. It helped me overcome super challenging times in my life. It helped me through trauma and grief, helped me through losing my mom, helped me through friends dying from overdoses and suicides, and it helped me create the life of my dreams. It helped me meet my higher self and just understand who I am and what my purpose is, and it just on the regular gives me clarity and creativity. Like after deep meditations, lyrics just fly through me, like video ideas just pop into my head. Creative solutions for my business just jump out of nowhere. It seems like all of the problems that I need to solve just get solved by my subconscious when I sort of clear my mind or just take some time out for my self-care. And you might think it's selfish, but self-care is never selfish. It's an act of service to all. So don't feel bad. In fact, you're doing everyone you love a great, amazing service by meditating and by taking that time to take care of yourself first. Ask every single one of my friends and family. Ask my sweet daughter if they like Burnell better after he's been meditating, and I guarantee they're all going to say yes, and they'll gladly take 30 minutes less of Burnell to have a better version of Burnell, you know what I'm saying? So try it out, get more into it. If you're already meditating, that's amazing. I urge you to go even deeper into your practice. I urge you to start spreading the word and helping this ascension process and helping more people wake up to the powers, the beautiful healing powers that we all have within our own minds and our own hearts, because there's a lot of people out there suffering with massive depression, stress, anxiety, and our culture kind of in the past has been turning to medications that can be super harmful, or let's just give you this prescription or this expensive procedure, or all these solutions that are external and outside of us, when we hold the deepest, most powerful healing remedies within ourselves, within our breath, within our mind, within our heart, within our spirit. So always look within first. If we're looking for solutions to our problems and we can't find them, it's often because we're just looking too far away. So I urge you to turn within, deepen your meditation practice. If you're not meditating yet, check out one of the apps that I mentioned or some of the guided meditations on YouTube and just start diving in. Don't expect yourself to be good at it first try. Just like if you've never worked out before, you wouldn't expect yourself to walk into the gym and bench 400 pounds. You know what I mean? You wouldn't expect yourself to hop out onto a field with the NFL and just throw a touchdown your first time playing a football game? Hell no. But for some reason, with meditation, since it seems so simple and it's just breathing and just being, we are like too hard on ourselves. Like people think they should just have it dialed in their first try, and if not, oh, my mind's messed up and I just can't meditate because my mind's too busy or my lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. If you're having trouble meditating, then you probably need it even more than you realize. So I'll leave you with that for today. Meditation truly can and will change your life in profound ways, so I hope you'll give it an honest try however long it takes you to get deep into it. It's really worth it. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening. Have a super blessed rest of your day. If you found today's episode valuable and you think it's making a positive impact in the world, it would mean the absolute world to me if you just take a few seconds to screenshot it, share it on your IG story or your Facebook or your Snapchat, maybe text a homie that you think might enjoy my words, tell them, hey, check out Burnell's podcast, I think you might like this, and leave a little review if you haven't. Check out the Patreon page too if you're interested in supporting and helping these messages spread, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
If you got value from this episode, please send a direct message to Burnell on Instagram or Facebook. I don't know why I am doing this weird voice, but holler at your boy so your boy can know what's good. You can say something like, Yo Burnell, I just listened to your podcast and it was straight flame fire emoji. That way, Burnell can screenshot your message and show the world how badass this podcast really is. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You're super awesome.